Hi everyone, welcome back. I wanted to do something with you today which hopefully will give someone a little bit of encouragement. I'm a completely beginner gardener, whether it's vegetables or flowers. I have not done anything before. I love the idea of it. I love the idea of, you know, knowing where something comes from and being able to put something into the soil and have it produce and then be able to put something on the table for your family. So today I'm going to start what I would call a beginner's garden. I don't have a big area to be putting lots of veggies or flowers into. I'll show you what I do have, and then potentially what I would like to have in my little courtyard eventually. But I'm completely starting from scratch. So if you're a beginner as well and you would like to join me, then please do. This area along here is what I do have that potentially could be quite an amazing little garden. I kind of envisage some, built up planter boxes, maybe 2 or 3 along there. I only have a very small courtyard type garden, but this is a work in progress, so it's not really usable at the moment. But I'll show you what we are going to use today to just start a wee veggie garden. So this is what I've got. It's not exciting in any way, but it's totally doable when you just want to start something as a beginner gardener, whether it's flowers or vegetables. So I've got a selection of pots. They're just ones that I've already had here. I've got 1, 2, 3, one at the back there, 4, 5, and then I've got some other various just small ones around about. You could use something like this. Anything really that you can put some potting mix into and then plant. That's what you can use. Even something like this would be fine. Some kind of plastic bin like this would be absolutely fine to plant into. So these garden planters have had flowers in them previously. I'm just going to start by giving them a good weed, and then we'll go through some soil solutions, some things that we can put in there just to make the soil more viable for the veggies to go into. So here's the soil with most of the weeds all out. This soil is actually quite good already because it was pretty much compost when these were originally planted. So the soil is actually quite nice and rich. This one here I think needs a bit of extra of something. Looks a bit dry. So this is what I got from just one of the the garden stores. It's a potting mix. It can be used for indoor or outdoor plants, and it's already got a extra slow release fertilizer built into it. That's a good food for those plants when you initially pop them in, and then you can just keep feeding them over the the next months as required. So for most of these pots, I'm just going to give them a bit of a top up with the potting mix. And then I've got a white pot, this one here, that I'm just going to completely fill with the potting mix. Something to be vigilant about when using any of these bags of potting mixes and compost mixes is to make sure that you take protective precautions at all times.
This is because of a disease called Legionnaires. Legionella is a bacteria found in potting mix or compost mix, and it can cause a pneumonia, which can be serious and life-threatening. So 5 simple ways to avoid Legionnaire's disease from potting mix or compost is to work with the potting mix or compost in a well-ventilated area outside. Open your bags of compost or potting mix carefully and away from your face using scissors. Dampen down the potting mix or compost with a sprinkle of water to reduce dust, and avoid touching your face and wear a mask if possible. I'm just going to give all the planter's soil a good water in preparation for the seedlings. These pots are in a great place currently as they get a lot of sun over the day, which is what all of these seedlings will need to keep growing well. So if you are going to do your own veggie pots, then make sure that they will be positioned for maximum sun. And of course, I have my 2 trusty friends, Ayla the Chucky Lab and Sully the cat, helping as well.
Let's talk a little bit about what I have bought here to put into our beginner's garden. So it's autumn or fall in New Zealand at the moment, and the area that I live in is a warmer part of the, more mild part of the country. Whatever country you're in will have zoning of some kind, depending on, whether they get heavy frosts or whether they're a more mild place to live in. So what I have bought here is appropriate for the season that we're in at the moment. There's not many here, but it's just to begin with and just so that we can get our confidence up with what we are growing. So what I have bought is a selection of broccoli. This is a purple and just a normal green broccoli, and then one that sprouts little broccoli off to the side. I got some spring onions. This one here is a cauliflower combination, so a normal white cauliflower, and then we've got one called a cheddar cauliflower. It's like an orange colour, and then a red coloured one or purple coloured one. I got some lettuce. This again is a different pack of different varieties that we can plant. And then I got some catnip. I've never grown this before, but the cat has already been into it, so it obviously does do what everyone says that it does. It makes the cats go a little bit crazy for it. So this big pot here, I think I'm going to put the cauliflower, because it says that they need to be planted 45 to 60 centimetres apart, and there's 6 plants in there, so I'll put 3 in here. Obviously they're going to have big cauliflower heads on them, and obviously you're just going to choose what vegetables that your family would actually eat and like.
Some other vegetables that can be planted at this cooler time of the year are carrots, broad beans, beets, Brussels sprouts, cabbages, spinach, kale, leeks, celery, and other lettuces. There are so many to choose from that your family would enjoy. But a good thing to know, and something that I have learnt, is what is the difference between sowing and planting. What I am doing here is planting seedlings. So these have already had the beginning work done for us. If we were to start right at the beginning, then we would be sowing seeds, which means to put a seed into a tray of soil and wait for it to germinate and sprout into a seedling. So this obviously takes a bit longer than just planting a seedling. But some seeds, like carrots and radishes, can be sown straight into the ground, and then they continue to grow from there.
Okay, so that's all of my cauliflower planted. 3 in here, 3 in here. And these little pots I'll actually just keep, because we could potentially look at sowing something into these planters later on as well. They're good to to have around. This one here, I think I'll put some broccoli. The broccoli says 50 centimetres apart. And this one I'm going to plant a couple of lettuces and probably just a couple of spring onions.
Unfortunately, I ran out of space to put these extra veggies into, but that's okay. I'll get another pot for them.
So here is my little garden that we have got started on today. I just want to encourage you to do the same. If you want to just try growing anything, then we can do it together. I know these vegetables are not going to be ready for another few weeks, even up to a few months away, but it's just more the principle of putting something into the soil and then having the reward of something that you can eat at the end of it, which I think is really special and just encouraging to be able to grow your own food. So hopefully this helps someone, and yeah, just encourage you to give it a go as well.
I'd love to hear what successes you've had in your own beginner's garden. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great week, everyone.